Halloweening your house is a dying art. More and more people are turning off their porch lights and pretending they're not home.
Halloween skippers.
Skippers? How can you reject a holiday where you can serve candy from a salad bowl?
Welcome everyone to this unexpected edition of The Screaming Room. We are recording this on Sunday, October 18th, the day that The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror 31 was supposed to air, but due to Game 7 of the World Series, they pushed it back to November 1st. If you've been listening to our podcast special, we have been going through all of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes. And of course, today is Halloween, so happy Halloween, everyone.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't have a 31st Treehouse of Horror to talk about on our podcast.
Yet.
And yes, we will get that to you as soon as we can. So today we have something a little different for you. David?
Well, today, we pretty much watched their actual Halloween episode. So this is a little different than what we've been doing. This is not the traditional 3 different short story. This is completely, one story.
Which is really weird because it comes out, it's the episode after this is the Treehouse of Horror episode.
Yeah. And they even call attention to it as well at the beginning.
Yeah, spoiler alert, by the way.
Halloween at the Simpsons. What a classic tradition. Are you heading up to the treehouse to tell 3 horrifying tales?
Yeah, we're doing it next week. It's gonna be Wizard of Oz. I'm Scarecrow Fozzie.
So obviously it's not a traditional treehouse, so we go straight into the story. So we skip any kind of elaborate intros or short intros. Yeah. So
I don't even think they did a couch gag for this one. They just
No.
went right into it.
No, right into
You just
it.
see the Simpsons cloud gag and then BAM!
So we start off with the Simpsons essentially decorating their home for Halloween the day before. What's it called? Terror?
Evergreen Terror.
Evergreen Terror.
Everscreen Terror.
Everscreen Terror.
Because they live on Evergreen Terrace, so it's a
Nice.
play on that.
The gravestones could be a little more crooked. Let me just fluff up these entrails and light it up.
They did have a pretty sweet setup, though. I will give them that.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, definitely good setup. The kids realized that the skeleton decorations that they had, Homer stored them next to the furnace, so they pretty much were melted down to just this big pile of, plastic.
Bad news, Dad. You stored the plastic skeletons too close to the furnace.
Yeah, I'll take it to the old folks' home and tell Grandpa it's his new roommate.
Yeah,
Whoops.
so, which is really not a big deal because obviously during Halloween we have a whole bunch of pop-up stores, so they decided to go over there and buy some new decorations.
Everyone in the car! We're making a skeleton run to the Halloween pop-up store!
Whoa, while we're there, we can get a costume for the dog. Nothing says you love a pet like letting him be part of the human fun. Who wants to be a Yoda? You want to be a Yoda.
Yes.
The one saying the pop-up store, the other one saying the official pop-up store.
I didn't notice that.
Ooh!
So the one who's running the official one is obviously Abu instead of Apu, which I thought it was funny. I didn't roll my eyes at that.
I did.
Marge liked it more.
Yeah, Marge was like, I like that name better.
I think Marge is really easily entertained by a lot of things. God bless her heart, man. She's just way more entertained than a lot of the regular folks.
Which I don't remember Apu's reaction to her just saying that she loved that name instead of his.
I think his reaction was kind of similar to his reaction.
Oh yeah, severely disappointed.
And slightly offended.
Welcome, seasonal customer, to my pop-up emporium. Behold my terrifying joke name.
Apu! No, I actually like that better.
So they're, scanning around the store looking for decorations when they come across 3 of the workers pretty much sleeping and doing the weirdest drugs. I guess they're
Huffing silly string, drinking glow stick juice?
Yeah.
Dude, if these dudes were not on this episode working in this store, they would be on an episode of Jerry Springer. They're the whitest of whitest trash that you could possibly find.
No, I think Dog the Bounty Hunter beat them to that one.
No, these are the kind of guys that Dog the Bounty Hunter would hunt after. He would knock on their door.
Hey, why are you not working? Because I'm still coming down from huffing all that glow stick juice, man.
Good lord.
I'm strung out on silly string. That's disgusting.
So they come across to the skeleton mariachi band. And the workers tell Homer, hey, we're going to give you a deal. You pay us in cash for one of them. We'll, put 3 into the truck for you. We won't, tell Apu.
Psst. Hey, big man, how about this deal? You buy one for me in cash, and I'll load 3 more into your car for free.
That is a great deal.
Just don't tell old man Squishy about it.
Obviously, Homer's stupid, and what does he do? He says, hey, you guys, he goes to Apu, and these guys gave me a nice deal for skeletons. And he's like, what deal? And they get fired.
You got some great guys working here. They just gave me a really good deal.
Really? Tell me of this deal.
Okay, but don't tell old man Squishy about it. We hate him.
And then Apu says, take your suspiciously heavy bags with you. They're literally all the shit that they stole from the store in the bags.
No one rips off Apu na asapi mapatalan. Now take your suspiciously full duffel bags and go!
And obviously, they get pissed and threaten Homer. So it's like, well, we're going to get you back for that.
You're gonna be real sorry for getting us fired.
Well, I'm sorry now.
Yeah, you're gonna be.
I said I'm sorry now.
We said you're gonna be.
I know when I'm sorry, and I'm sorry now. You guys don't know me at all.
And then during this, the kids find an advertisement for Krusty's Halloween Horror Night.
Yeah, or at least his version of it.
Oh man, I can't wait for tonight. I'm finally old enough for Krusty Land Halloween Horror Night.
Oh yeah, they do it up right. Wait till you try the black cotton candy. It tastes just like cotton candy.
Lisa's really excited because on the billboard advertisement says for ages 8 and up. And she's 8 years old, like she has been for this season and the 26 seasons prior to it. So she's finally old enough to go.
Dude, I didn't even laugh at that billboard. It just made me sad.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm a Halloween Horror Nights fan from Universal. And
Yeah, I bet you are, jackass.
it was canceled this year, so it kind of cut a little deep, just a little deep on this one.
Yeah, I was expecting to go to that one.
Yeah,
We all were.
Yeah.
I know.
Tomorrow, when my friends ask me about it, I'm gonna say, it wasn't that big a deal. But it's gonna be a really, really big deal.
Obviously, Lisa was like, it's not going to be a big deal. And she runs head first, too. She's the first one to go in there. And runs into one of the zombies there and she's like,
I thought this was gonna be scary.
And Homer says, just take my hand. It's not real. I'll take you through this horde of zombies.
Take my hand and I'll walk you through this roiling zombie horde.
This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real.
Lisa gets through the other side. She finds out that she's actually holding onto a zombie's hand. Meanwhile, Homer somehow picked up Honk's moment.
yeah.
Sir, I'm not...
Hold on, Lisa. Daddy's picking out a pretzel topping.
Sir...
And he's trying to buy a pretzel, but he can't decide on what topping he wants.
Of course, with Lisa being scared and Homer, being a dad, and I could kind of relate to it. It's like, she wanted to leave. Bart is like, no, we just got here.
Yeah. Which, I liked Homer's real reason for not wanting to leave. Because the tickets were super expensive.
He kept emphasizing how expensive it
was. And actually, the way he explained to her was...
Lisa, honey, I think you should stay. And not because the tickets were super expensive, even though they were super expensive.
That is some dad shit right there.
The fun of being scared by stuff you know
accurate.
isn't real.
Well, there's
Unlike the
Philip.
money it's spent on this, which is very real.
Lisa gets so scared she crawls up into a ball on the floor.
All the stuff that Lisa saw leading up to being scared, like they really amped it up. Like they had like a chest burster from a fake security guard.
That was pretty cool.
They had some other stuff
Yeah,
too.
one of the zombies like pulled his face out, so the anatomy was like super
Spot
gory
on.
and
Yeah.
spot on.
Bart's like, yeah, people aren't pretty smart and sophisticated now, so they had to ramp up the scare factor by like 100.
Oh yeah, the gore is super realistic. It's gotta be. Today's consumer is just too sophisticated.
And then she runs up to a mother with a stroller.
Find a grown-up? Excuse me, I'm lost. Could you please help me?
Then a demon baby pops out with a mini chainsaw. She runs away. It was great.
Security guards and everyone, I don't know what, the director for the Horror Nights is watching that and pretty much has a panic button, red, crybaby on it, and pretty much hits it.
And he's just like, shut it down. Shut it all down. Shut the whole darn thing down.
Terror level 7 and rising.
Shut it down. Shut it all down. Shut the whole damn thing down.
Wow.
Obviously, I don't know if Halloween Horror Nights for Orlando has a panic button for the crybaby.
No, as far as I know, they do not.
Everyone gets pissed because their parking's not validated. So,
unless it's a 65-minute restart time.
yeah, so yeah, it was really dramatic.
We have located and are removing the baby that thinks this is real. Reset time is 65 minutes.
Wow!
Parking validations are now void.
And once again, Lisa ruins everything.
As soon as they get home, Marge realizes that, before that, she goes to school and pretty much every Halloween decoration, the minor thing, she gets really freaking scared. And she is terrified.
Wimp!
So Marge realizes that she's got to take out all the Halloween decorations that they had pulled or had set up. So yeah, that ruins a lot. Bart gets freaking pissed.
Why are you taking down Everscream Terrors?
Our house has to be a Halloween-free zone. Your sister has a tummy ache in her courage.
So she tries to, make up for it and to take them to like a Halloween block party.
Yeah.
It's
like
one
of the best
neighborhoods.
Yeah, the rich neighborhoods.
Just to kind of make it up.
That's the place where you would take your kids to get the full-size candy bars back in the day.
So I'm taking you to the best trick-or-treating block party in the Tri-Springfield area. There's a dad who's a DJ, even an E.T. who says your name.
What if I tell the E.T. my name is a swear?
You'll have to say it.
Then I'm in.
Nice.
They pretty much get there and realize that there's no outsiders or allowed in the party because
Residents only.
Residents only because the ones that came in before kind of ruined a lot of stuff or wreaked havoc.
Whoa, look at this line. This neighborhood has to be good.
Sorry, ma'am, residents only. Too many randos crashed the block party last year, so Spine Chills is Pine Hills only.
Mom, you said we could go here.
We will.
And then Marge tries to bribe him with a zip line coupon.
Oh, really? Was it zip line?
Yeah, coupon. The yeoman like, zip lining is my life. But if I took that bribe, it wouldn't be worth the folding chair that they allow me to sit on.
Look, I've got a Groupon here for a zipline adventure. Let us in, and it's yours.
Ziplining is everything to me, but if I take that, I'm not worth the folding chair I'm sitting on. Now turn around and go.
Hey. I respect him.
What's really cruel is that the only way that Marge could turn around and go back was she actually had to circle around
the cul-de-sac.
The entire party, and Bart could see everything.
Bounce house.
Bounce houses.
E.T.
Hello, Scrotum.
It's over. I missed Halloween.
Which by
I don't get why she didn't just let him out, just like get out and go have fun. I'll pick you up at 10.
That is exactly what what I would have done if I was the parent.
I would have been like, yo, get out. I'll pick you up at 10. Just meet me at the gate.
I mean, I would try to like sneak in as a parent because I want to be part of that too. Halloween's like my holiday.
Well,
Again, it's the only legitimate holiday.
Homer and Lisa are doing their bonding, and he's trying to pretty much soothe her, trying to, help her out.
To varying degrees of success.
Both he and Marge are kind of disappointed that Lisa has actually gone back to one of her childhood stuffed animals, or what's left of one of her childhood stuffed animals. Taily, which was the stuffed raccoon that she had when she was little.
Yeah.
And she kept the tail, and now that she's like kind of reverted, she's taking it back so she won't leave Taily behind now.
Yeah.
Scaredy cat.
Probably a crutch that Homer was like, she needed to get over, and then why he says that, she's friggin'
liquor
drinking.
Oh, that's so true.
Father
so true.
So, Taily's back.
Taily just makes me feel so safe. I don't know why I ever gave it up.
Breaks my heart that Lisa can't deal with her emotions without a crutch.
Well, kids are weak, Marge.
And then, of course, TikTok, white trash is coming back. To get revenge, the three scumbags come back in several variants of masks and come back to threaten Homer.
Trick or treat.
March lights off, kids. Don't you know what that means?
We're not here for candy, big man.
Hey, you're those pop-up scuzzos. What do you scuzzos want?
We want our jobs back.
Look, I don't want to be rude, but you sad losers should go suck somewhere else.
Yeah, pretty much threaten him and, go on to that promise. Or pretty much stalking him. So he's locking up all the freaking doors, and while he's locking those doors, are already in the house.
I can't let Lisa know we're being stalked by vengeful seasonal thugs. I'll just whistle a happy tune.
I just love that joke too, by the way. We're gonna kill you. Well, that's weird. Wonder how that drawing got there. And then the next cabinet over, it's like, we're in the house, idiot.
Yeah. Oh, how did that get there?
Pretty much run out of the house. Lisa realized she forgot Taily, runs back in the house. And
Taily! I left him inside!
No! Lisa! Lisa! Lisa!
Dad?
Homer's like, God, why did you do that?
Which I imagine you spend most of your time as a father doing that.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you
I
doing?
can relate to a lot of that stuff there.
I believe that. I believe it.
It's true. They hit it on the head there. Homer runs after her, and then that's when these three guys come in, and the fog shows up.
Well, that didn't take much. Come on! Give me a hit off that fog machine. We got a fat man to beat on.
What the fuck?
They run into the attic, lock themselves there to hide. They're looking for Homer and Lisa, so they're trying to pretty much create a plan to pretty much get out of their situation. And Homer realizes that there's only one working brain there.
Oh, I hate this. I hate feeling afraid.
Maybe I shouldn't admit this to my daughter, but I'm scared too. but you can't let fear shut down your brain, because between the two of us, we've only got one good one.
They realize that they have the decorations from the night before, from them taking it down, so it's like maybe we could signal for help.
What if we use these decorations to signal for help?
You're right. I may not be the smartest, Dad, or the bravest, or the smartest, but I am great at one thing. Drawing attention to our home.
So, and then during that, Marge and Bart are pretty much heading back home after that.
She tries to get Bart some trick-or-treating time,
Yeah.
and she's like really rushing him out of the car. And just as they get out of the car, as they're approaching that first house, lights go off.
Hurry! Go, go, go!
What? What's the rush?
Go, go, have fun. There's still time. It's too late. The change is upon us.
Leading into
a nice musical number. I'm pretty sure it's a parody. I think I've seen this
Time
in
Warp.
Rocky Horror. Yeah, Time Warp.
It was a parody of Time
So-
Warp, yes.
Your kid's teacher in a steampunk orgy.
I'd like to say this isn't true, but it's pretty fucking true.
That was weird and
Accurate.
kind of disturbing and
Very accurate. The adult Halloween is upon us. The making all of your parents do very disturbing things. Remember, kids, an adult Halloween, it's not just a nurse; it's a sexy nurse.
Really, like the only like kids left that were like on the block besides the adults were Ralph and Martin.
Grown-up Halloween seemed pretty fun. I saw an areola.
Oh, you know what I gotta say though? That's probably one of the best ones that I've heard. That's a pretty damn good Ralph quote. That really is.
Homer and Lisa end up on the roof to signal for help. He's got the 4th of July like decorations and fireworks lined up, and he's trying to set it up, but the wind's blowing too much. So Lisa offers the Tally to set on fire. So they try to kind of maybe get over it.
Yep.
Kind of move on, grow up.
Which, from a filmmaking standpoint, I liked that they really made a moment out of that.
Yeah.
Hurry, light the fireworks!
The match won't stay lit. It's too windy.
I've got something that will burn.
Are you sure?
Yes, this ratty piece of polyester has been soaking in face oil for 8 years.
Ew.
Light him up. Goodbye, Taylor.
It was a good moment.
Actually, I really liked their treatment of Lisa in this episode. She really did feel more like a real, actual 8-year-old in this episode, as opposed to like the super smart, almost genius that she normally is, or super mature, almost like adult maturity that she usually is. So I really liked that they let her be an 8-year-old for once.
Yeah, I think it's refreshing too. You know, to do that.
And even with Bart, he even felt like a real 10-year-old in this one. Because, like, Bart and Lisa usually don't feel like real 8 and 10-year-olds. They do feel a lot more mature and developed. Whereas in this episode, like I said, Lisa felt like an 8-year-old that would be scared by that stuff. And Bart was, of course, really disappointed that they were packing up Halloween and that they were becoming skippers that year.
What? Lisa goes nuts and you turn us into skippers?
I know what this makes us. I know!
I mean, it's like I said, it's really accurate. It depicts of what probably could happen, you know. And this is a situation you, as a parent, that you might come across.
Absolutely.
At some point. So then you'd have to kind of help your, one child cope, and the other one's like really into the holiday. So you'd kind of have to make something up.
That's the thing with you gotta balance it with when you have 2 kids.
Got to.
Now plug it in! Oh! Help! Help! We're up here!
Everscreen Terrors needs our help.
Fireworks going off. It grabs the attention of the whole neighborhood, essentially.
Which I liked Superintendent Chalmers dressed as Sean Connery's character from Zardoz.
Oh, really?
crazy specific.
Yep.
Crazy.
And he's like, we can get plastered and hit on our coworkers later.
We can get plastered and hit on our coworkers later. Come on!
That is the true spirit of adult Halloween, kids.
Yes. So they all show up there and they catch these three creeps, essentially. Chief Wiggum puts them in the police car. He's like, look, when you guys get out, just come see me. And then you guys can, work at the 99-cent store. And they're super excited. It's like, wait, that's year round.
That's year round.
That's year round.
Holidays will come and go, but we will stay.
For are these guys not victims too, in a way, of our disposable pop-up culture? When you get out, look me up. I know a guy who owns a 99-cent store.
Good God, white trash.
Yes.
The whitest of trash.
And then lastly, during the credits for the episode, Maggie comes across the burnt telly from Lisa, and for some reason magically appears and kind of restores itself, and
completely
Maggie's
unburnt.
pretty much petting
weird.
it. It was weird, but Maggie was petting it with the blank kind of stare, and our Halloween theme song going proves that she's a psychopath.
And once again proving that Maggie is a serial killer.
Yeah, serial killer in the making.
She's trying too hard.
She's literally plotting murder right now.
You're not a pumpkin, Maggie. Jesus Christ. Those vectors.
That was kind of creepy.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
I thought it was annoying.
Yeah, I actually thought this was a much better animated episode than a lot of the more recent Treehouse of Horrors that we've watched.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah,
I'll
they
agree
did
with
some
that.
nice playing around with the shadows and the angles, especially when Lisa was being scared at the Halloween Horror Nights, and even with the fog and shadows in the house when Homer was alone with her and the guys were trying to break in.
This had a lot of. This is kind of up and down for me. Some really good parts, some not so good parts, some boring parts. It was like a lot of peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
There's some of the parts that I really enjoyed, and some of the other parts I'm like, I'm like, hey, we can pick this up. Let's move a little bit faster. But for the most part, it did have some pretty funny jokes.
It was different.
It was different. That's what I did like about
Was this all of your first time watching this episode?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that they actually did Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Because all I thought was just the tree houses. I thought that they were just never going to do anything like that because they had the tree houses.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes sense.
This was probably my third or fourth time watching it. And what's interesting is the first time I watched it, my opinion was actually very close to your opinion.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually gotten better each time I watch it. Because even in those slow moments, it does kind of build towards the character arcs of the characters in this episode. Like, they really were very efficient with their storytelling in this episode, I thought. And when you go back and rewatch it, I feel a lot of that development feels a lot more apparent to you on rewatches.
I think the one thing I will say, though, is that this gives me a very clear distinction between a Treehouse of Horror episode and a regular episode. Because this is a regular episode. This felt like a regular. It was structured like a regular episode.
Yeah.
So my brain it was ready for a Treehouse episode. So I was prepared to analyze it the way that I had been analyzing a Treehouse. And this actually had some story arcs and some and some peaks and valleys. But it actually was a complete story. So who knows? Maybe I'll check it out in a couple years, and I'll like it some more.
It's definitely something I expected for an episode, because obviously the treehouses are meant for them to do what they can't do for regular episodes.
Yeah.
So I expected this to be a little bit more structured.
And hold on, folks, you couldn't talk about a Simpsons Halloween episode without talking about Kane and Kodos for about a 30-second shoehorn.
Foolish Simpsons, this was not their typical Halloween experience.
Not the worst, but not the best.
It was still a shoehorn.
It wasn't even the real King.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, cool alien voice, Freddy.
Thanks. I've been practicing it as a
Oh, damn it, I lost it.
It's a regular episode.
It is a regular episode, but they could not resist. They couldn't resist. And actually, it's kind of it's a little bit more of like a very subtle humor that they made it a fake Kane and Kodos thing because it's a fake Treehouse episode. It's like a Treehouse episode, except it's not a Treehouse episode. Yeah. That's not until the next day. And they talk about that in the episode. Your favorite character shows up to talk to them at the very beginning. Mr. Ned Flanders.
Fucking Ned.
Aren't
you supposed to be doing a Treehouse thing? No, we're doing that tomorrow.
Something about this story, that story, that story. It should be great.
Something about, what was it, trucks or something taking over?
We're doing Muppet Wizard of Oz, something else, and furniture comes alive or something like that.
People love it.
Like how nonchalant. Yeah, that's the thing. He's like, people love it. No, we don't.
Not every time, Homer. Not every time.
Sounds chillin'.
People love it.
It was a really fun episode.
It was.
It's grown on me over the years. I think it's one of the stronger episodes from recent seasons of The Simpsons.
What year was this one?
This would have been season 27. So whatever year that was.
I'm not doing the math.
So this is the only Halloween episode. They don't do any.
I don't think they've done any since.
Damn.
I mean, it makes sense to just do that the one time.
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly fine.
I think they had to do it.
I think it gives it a refreshing twist, and I think it was probably a pretty smart marketing ploy because if people enjoyed this episode, they would probably check out the next week for Treehouse. So I mean, and then continue to go on from there. Definitely want to check out it a second time just to see if my opinion changes, but definitely got to give it another year or so to give it another refresher. But it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've definitely checked the episode out. It's definitely different. If you're a big fan of the Treehouse, obviously check this out. But I enjoyed the episode for sure.
Yeah, as a fan of The Simpsons, this was a breath of fresh air. I really liked it. I actually saw this episode when it first aired. Really enjoyed it, but much similar to Mark, it did feel a little slow at first, but it has grown on me over the years. And like I said earlier, I do think it is one of the stronger episodes of more recent seasons. I highly enjoyed it, and I'm very happy that The Simpsons does have a non-Treehouse of Horror Halloween special that can be watched.
Really? Yes.
Mind games!
Thank you everyone for watching this episode of The Screaming Room that we did not know we were going to be doing.
Yeah.
Thank you, MLB.
Your season doesn't even count this year, so why do you even care?
True.
Be sure to listen to our podcast, the Nightmares Podcast, wherever podcasts are available. And also be sure to go back and watch our first 30 episodes of our October 2020 special podcast, where we discuss all of the Treehouse of Horror episodes. And be sure to look us up on social media at Midwest Horror Network on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and
Slasher.
And of course, if you can stab that like button and smash that subscribe and press that little dingy bell to be notified every time we drop amazing content here on the Midwest Horror Network. Thank you so much for checking us out, and we'll see you next time on The Screaming Room. Happy Halloween, everybody. Bye.